God bless everyone. Judy here. This is not a live translation event service, so anyone is welcome in the chat room. And I'm giving a word from God in this last hour to the church/bride of Christ. There's only 3 people groups on earth. That's it. God doesn't divide it up any other way but by spiritual condition. And there is 3 people groups. That's it. There's the lost, which he refers to as the goats, the sheep, which are the true church, which is the bride of Christ that's getting raptured and going to the wedding supper, and then the lukewarm wolves, so goats, sheep, and wolves. And I was once in a wolf position, but the wolves are the lukewarm church, which is most of the church. So this message is to the church, to the bride of Christ. And the 2 people groups in the church are the sheep and the wolves. And this message is very sobering, but it's the Lord 110%. And that's why I'm so bold as to say it's him. And what I want to say is, here it is. So let me get over here because there's a really big dog. And I need to get Marty away. So I'm going to walk a little bit faster. So here's the word: you have no rights. God said, tell them, Judy, they have no rights. So I'm going to sit over here at this bench with my dog so this other big dog can pass us up. And I'm going to sit here in the shade. Okay, come here, Marty. Come on up here. Come up, 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 up. Okay. And so I'm going to show you a beautiful view. Isn't that pretty? Oh, no thanks, because he's not nice. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So as you guys know, I don't trust people anymore when they say their dog is nice. Marty's been attacked 3 times and bad injuries, not vet worthy, but just bloody messes by people that said their dog was nice. So now I just tell them my dog's not nice. That's how I deal with it. Okay. So hi Gina, great to see you. First of all, let me wave. I'm in my dorky I got this, instead of wearing sunscreen, I just do this. It's very hot here, and so I have different hats I wear. So that's me right now, guys. We're about to go on a hike in the mountains. But I just pulled over. God said, he told me today, he said, give this message out. Tell my church, Judy, they have no rights. And you guys might say, Judy, that's not even scriptural. We have a free will. Yes, you do. But that doesn't have anything to do with rights. You had a free will to choose the Lord, to choose to serve him or your flesh / Satan, because your flesh serving yourself is Satan. There's only 2 masters in this world. There's God and there's Satan. That's it. You are serving one, whether you want to understand it or believe it or know it. I am telling you, thus says mighty Jehovah God, there are only 2 masters, and you're serving one whether you cop to it or not. And so once you decide with your free will which master you're going to choose, then you give up your rights to that master. And you might think, no, I don't, Judy, I don't give my rights to anyone. Well, that's a bunch of new age mumbo jumbo. Yes, you do. You are giving your rights to something every day, and someone, circumstances, or you have no rights. Jesus told me this the other day. He was like, you have no rights. And I said it in a couple of the live streams, but he really finished it off for me this morning. He said, Judy, tell my church. And that includes the sheep and the wolves, because God is hoping in this last hour that you go from wolf status to sheep status. That's what he's hoping. He's hoping that you cross over so that you can make it to the wedding supper. And some sheep are crossing over into wolf status, unfortunately. And the more he lingers and doesn't come and rapture us, the more time there is for people to flip back and forth. So his mercy is giving us time, but it's not much longer. And I'm telling you, even today, if you don't see an evening live translation event service, you can know the worldwide rapture is days away, no more than a week. Anyway, Huh, Marty? So, God bless you, Gina. Good to see you. So here's the situation. You have no rights. With your free will, when you chose to say yes to Christ, come on, Marty, I think we can walk now. No more dogs, all clear. Okay, let's go. You gave up your rights. Yeah, you did. You gave up your rights when with your free will, you choose to serve yourself, which is flesh, which is Satan. And I know you're like, geez, Judy, you're so polar. Life is complicated. It's not that black and white. Yes, it is. The gospel is very clear. I understand there's a lot of gray areas with God, with his judgment rod toward each person. God is very fair. So his judgment rod, there can be a gray area where one person can get away with smoking weed and another person, God is like, listen, I'm not even going to, no, you can't. But this other person, God's working on so many other things that he hasn't given them a hard time about their weed yet. But he will. If there's time, he will. Trust me. So the thing is, his measuring rod is different for everyone. So that's where you have gray areas. But let me tell you, the Bible is very clear. You cannot serve two masters. There's just two forces. There's good and there's evil in this world. And when you're living for yourself, it's Satan. And even as a Christian, when I claim and profess to follow Christ and I serve myself, I am not serving God. I am in a wolf condition. Okay. And that's the most of the church. And I'm giving these messages to get you out of that spiritual condition back over to the sheep pen so God can be your shepherd. Okay. And this is a very offensive word, but I don't care. I need to get paid because I need some gas money. And God, every time I give these really offensive words, he always pays me. And I've been wanting to say this for a while because he was saying it to our tribe recently. We have no rights. We gave them up when we chose to follow him, and then we gave them up when we chose to take this call of preparing the way. He's even stricter on us because we have put ourselves in positions of teacher. And if you do that, you better be careful. And I am careful. You know, I'm going to be in trouble if I don't give these words. But you listen, here's what I'm going to tell. God says, here's his word to the church in this last hour. You have no rights. You don't. You don't. It's not your stuff. It's not your resources. It's not your money. It's not your job. It's not everything that you have. And you can say, oh, it's me, Judy. I did it. No, God's the one that had you born with a talent to get your job, to get your degree, to whatever. Even, whatever it is, it was all him. And God, and you, whether you want to believe it or not, you just didn't do it all yourself. And I know you want to think that in your pride, but you didn't. God gave you your looks. He gave you your body. He gave you your basic personality. Sorry, hold on. I got to get another poop bag. Marty just did a good one. He's better, by the way. Marty's better, by the way. He's all better, but he was really bad sick, and then within 24 hours he was better. Just God told me to trust him, and I did. So you have no rights. So all of you claiming to follow him, every day it's surrender and submission of your time, your energy, your money, your resources, your relationships, everything in your life to the best of your ability. It's not yours, it's his. So with your free will, when you chose to follow Christ, you signed that over to him. You said, I'm no longer going to give my right up to myself and Satan. I'm going to give it to God. That's the way it is. That's the way it works on earth as humans that God created. That's it. It's very black and white in this area. But like I said, the gray areas are God's judgment rod is different for everyone according to the cup that he filled for them and gave them on this earth. Okay? Everyone's cup. So, you should never look at another person and think, well, if they can get away with this, so can I. No, sin is sin. Don't do it. And so that's the message today is you have no rights. Mighty Jehovah God says to the church, you don't have rights. When you chose to follow me, you signed over with your free will. I gave you a free will to choose me or to choose Satan. Once you chose that, and you've chosen something whether you know it or not. So everyone that, your free will, you're choosing yourself and Satan, even if you weren't aware of it. That's who you've been serving this whole time. And when you're with your free will, when you chose to no longer be a slave to sin, but to serve Christ, you gave up your rights. That's why the rich young ruler had to turn away sad, because Jesus told him, and some of the people, not just the rich young ruler, but others that wanted to go with him, he said, well, you just have to come now. You can't go back home and get your suitcase. And they didn't want to do it. See, it's going to cost you something, whether you're serving yourself, Satan, which is Satan, one power, or God. It's always going to cost you. There is nothing free. It cost Jesus his life to redeem us. So you have no rights. And so that is what he told me to tell the church. And he said, Judy, warn them, they better be doing the right thing with the time, energy, money, and resources I gave them. They better be asking me. I don't care if you say, well, I can't give any money. I don't even have what are you supposed to do with that $10? I'm obedient to the core. I've given away, which I did today. I did an offering that took a lot of faith, and God told me to give it. And I don't even have enough in the natural to do what I have to do, even for things right now. And he told me to give a certain amount away today. And I obey, because it's not my money, it's his. It's not my right. I have a feeling he's going to multiply it, because that's what he does when he makes me give away my last few things. And he's been doing that consistently since he fell on my son. He requires of me to do these kinds of crazy things, but that's really, honestly, it's really not crazy. If you're walking in the Spirit, it's normal to give your last penny. That should be normal. It's normal to not hang on to your stuff, because it's not yours, it's God's. Okay? And that's the truth. So cute. So cute. Marty found a friend. Marty found a cute friend with a cute little collar. Oh my gosh. Okay. Have a good day. All right, we got to go. We got to go. We got to get to that mountain. Come on, Marty. I know you want to hang out. I know. Marty likes furry friends. The little guys. We say hi to the little guys. We don't say hi to the big guys. I love big dogs, don't get me wrong. It's just, we've been attacked too many times. So, I was never like that before, but I'm just like, I don't care. One guy gave me his number and said he'll pay the vet bill. And that's not the point. I don't have time to go to a vet and get my dog stitched. So, he was nice. At least he offered to pay for it, where the other people just act stupid, like, oh, my dog never did that. They've never done that. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Okay. So, anyway, you have no rights, thus says the Lord. And he said, Judy, warn them. Warn them every day to lay it down. Ask the Lord where he wants you to be giving, because everyone should be giving. Always, of your time, energy, money, and resources. Always. Oh, I don't give my money, but I give my time. No, it's not your money. And I've learned that being on the road. This ministry has given away so much money and helped so many people and replaced things for people. We have done so much in this ministry. Yes, we have. And we will continue to bless people with our time, energy, money, and resources. And I will continue to be blessed. Listen, that's the way it works in the body of Christ. And some of you are living in financial poverty because you think, and it's stupid, but you don't do what he says with the little money you do have. And that's your own ignorance. And so just in case you need some help, I'm here to tell you, it's not yours. It's not your last $10, it's God's. And people that aren't willing to surrender and submit, you're not going to his wedding supper, because you have no rights. That's what he told me. I was like in shock. He told it to me a week ago, and he told it to the tribe that we had no rights. I thought it was just specific to us because of the job we're doing. And I'm like, but Lord, we have a free will. And then he explained it to me. He goes, yes, with your free will, you chose to follow me. And the example he gave me was the rich young ruler. He wanted to keep his rights. He wanted to keep his money. He knew a life of luxury. He wasn't willing to go back to, not knowing where you're going to sleep. Maybe you're not going to have a cozy bed. Maybe you can't eat caviar. And so he chose not to follow him. So then that's fine. Then you're not a follower of Christ. Then just be honest about what you really are. You know, you're a wolf or a goat. You're not a sheep. You have no rights. And even as a wolf and a goat, you still have no rights. You just think you have them because you are serving a master, whether you realize it or not. When you're doing what you want to do with your time, energy, money, resources, relationships, occupation, everything, you are serving Satan without even knowing it. There's only 2 masters in this planet. And there's only 3 people groups. So know which one you're in. Watch all the videos on this channel. It'll really help you if you need the teaching. I'm not putting it all in this. He just told me to release this word. And many of you listening know. You're like, you know what? That's me. I need to do this. And he told a 10-year-old we're going to be shocked at who's left behind. It's nice people. It's sweet people. It's young people. It's sweet old people. It's vulnerable people. But it's people that knew better. God held them accountable. They got left behind with that 1,000, 500, 200. He said, give. He said, go help here, do this, do that. Just like this morning, he woke me up. He said, a specific person he told me was hurting. He said, I woke up to this person's name. And he said, they don't believe that I'm going to come through for them. So I want you to send this amount of money and tell them that I will. And I was like, please tell me I didn't hear that. I didn't want to hear what I heard because I'm barely hanging on to the things we have to get. And we don't even have but I did it. And he made it very clear to me because my bank account's not mine. My life's not mine. He can come today, and if I was holding on to that amount that he told me to give away today, oh my gosh, I wouldn't be going. But I did it. I questioned it a few times. I prayed a little bit more. I even prayed with a friend, but I knew it. By the time I called them, I already knew it. So I said, I think I already know this, and the person said, yeah. Because that was a widow's mite type thing for me. So if he's doing it to me, he's doing it to you. He has a different measuring rod according to each one of us, but there are some basic things we all have in common. And so that's what I'm preaching on. We have no rights. I don't and you don't. But the level and severity of what he's going to tell you to do as you obey, my sheep hear my voice and they know me, he will give you assignments. Okay? God does tell you things. He doesn't just spend all day telling you what to do, though. He spends his day in a beautiful relationship with you, and it's wonderful. Beautiful fellowship. But he has times where he will tell you to do stuff. And are you going to obey? Or are you going to be thank you. Are you going to obey? Or are you going to be a lukewarm wolf? Because I was one for too many years to ever go back. It's so much fun living like this. Listen, it's hard, but it's fun. It is so fun to walk in the Spirit, and I walk in a lot of joy, peace, and freedom. I walk in trial and struggle and trouble, but the joy, I wouldn't keep doing this. The joy outweighs it. The presence of God in my life because of my obedience, I wouldn't trade it for the world. So let that be your story, and make sure you're going to this great Rapture Rescue Wedding Supper event. So God bless everyone. That was it. You have no rights. And you gave that up when you chose to follow him, unless you're not following him, which is most of the church that says they are, but they're really not. They're doing what they want to do with their time, energy, money, and resources. And money and sexuality and relationships are huge. And he said that's why most are getting left. Tell him, Judy. Warn them one last time. So there you go. Bye.